Okay, this is the steel stamped, what's known as the 10-year anniversary bumper. Jeep's been using it for a while. It's pretty nice. The end caps come off, got some nice running lights there. And you can see it's winch ready. This plate needs to come out. This piece of plastic needs to come out. This piece of plastic in the front behind the license plate needs to come out. And I'm going to remove it, and then there's a special winch plate that fits into it. So you can see for the running lights, there's just this little squeeze pin right here, one on each side, right in there, and it just pulls right out. There's a skid plate underneath right here that protects the electric sway bar disconnect. I'll be taking that skid plate off and basically removing the bumper. Over here on this side, there's a little vacuum booster pump that hangs down in the way of large winches, which is what I'll be putting in, a Warren 12,000 pound. And a couple things can be done there. Basically, you cut part of the bracket. You can rotate the pump, stick it in that way, tie wrap it. I've done that. I've got a bracket that Dan gave me, as well as a winch plate that Dan gave me. Oh, you'll see. Stay tuned. Nice little job. All right, you're looking at the Rubicon 10-year anniversary steel stamped front bumper, winch ready. And I'm going to start that process today. I had to get some things. I had the winch. Obviously, I needed the winch plate. This does not come with a winch plate inside it. And I also needed a piece of metal that actually centers the fair lead for the winch being centered in here. There's one that offsets to the left and the right. I got the centering one. So this plastic Rubicon piece will come out. There's some washers on the back that hold it in. We'll take that out after. All of these little Torx bits will come out here. I don't know, maybe a Torx 30. This cover comes off. This cover, I'll end up drilling out these plugs right here and sliding this little plastic trim cover out of the way. And then that will allow me to look inside. And then there's four nuts on each side. There's a couple spacers in there, and we'll lift this thing off. And there's some more modifications that need to be done in order to get this winch installed onto this bumper. Very nice little project. Let's see what we got here. Look at the plate. All kinds of access here. You can see there's two of the nuts on the inside, and you'll notice there's also a spacer in there. Right there, you can just about see the vacuum booster. I'll be drilling these out with a drill bit and sliding this out of the way. Got to have room to remove this thing. I've always found the easiest way to get rid of these clips is to just drill out the center like that. They're really not designed to be reused. And when the time comes for me to, if I ever want to take this winch off, I'll just buy two little push pins there and put this piece back in. All right, so after drilling those two little plugs out, you can see generally you can just take this piece and slide it right out on the driver's side. Wow, look at the condition of this freaking Jeep. Outstanding, like new. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is take the skid plate off. 16 millimeter head bolts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 across the front and 2 in the back. Okay, removal of skid plate. 15 millimeter head, not 16, 15. 5 bolts in the front, 2 in the rear. Let's get that thing removed. All right, Jeep provides you a pretty good skid plate here for the sway bar disconnect. So that thing came off pretty good. This will go back on after. I'll clean it up a little bit. Put some anti-seize on those bolts. All right, 18 millimeter nuts. Right here, it's a little tight. I was able to get a swivel in the gun for the other ones. So 2 more nuts right here. And this front bumper will slide off. Notice I guess you can see it better right here. Notice the spacer right here. This will end up being reused. See these holes down here? I'll be dropping a flag nut down there and nutting and bolting the back of the winch plate right there. You'll see it after I get some stuff out of the way. All right, 8 nuts are removed. The electrical harness for the running lights is out of the way. I should be able to just grab these 2 handles. There are 2 spacers. Let's take the spacers off. That's what they look like. I've got some extra of these anyway from previous Jeeps. All right, should be able to grab those 2 handles and pull this thing straight off. Easy peasy, really. Very user-friendly, no problem. All right, next thing I'm gonna do, got these little one-time use metal clips. I'll get some diagonal cutters and a screwdriver, remove those 4. Then the plastic Rubicon trim will push right out. 4 little plastic washers. There you go. Got a couple options here. I've done many of these where I just take them like that. I'll take some nice long tie wraps and crisscross it, and it sits in this location right here. And no matter what you do, this front piece here needs to be cut. So I'll take a Sawzall or a cutting wheel and I'll zip that off. Now, there's also this bracket right here. You can see basically that it does the same thing. You could repurpose one of those bolts, get some 1032s or something like that, and go with the bracket route. So you got a couple options here. You can see I'm just going to use my little mini Sawzall, and I'm going to cut that right across there. Just got to be careful of those wires. All right, there you go. No big deal. Hit that with a file, get rid of the sharp edges, a little bit of paint, clean up some of the chips. That thing's out of the way. Then I just got to decide if I'm going to try to scrounge some nuts and bolts because I don't have the hardware, or if I'm just going to tie wrap it in there. Okay, filed that all off. You can see I decided to use the bracket. I found some bolts there. So I just got to come up with a couple bolts and nuts for this, and then we'll have that locked into place right there. Then we'll lift this harness. We'll pull these Christmas trees right out of here and tuck those wires in. Perhaps tie wrap them up out of the way. Not bad. All right, a couple 832 bolts through there, holding it onto the bracket. And I'll probably still take a tie wrap and put a tie wrap on it. You can see all the room that you have there. I mean, it's got a rubber grommet for a reason. All right, I'm really happy with that. It's in there very solid. The electrical connectors, tie wrap back up. No big deal, it's out of the way. And I'm gonna put a little paint on this. Get this wiring harness up out of this thing. And then we'll go get the actual bracket and put that in there and see how it looks. All right, I'm just holding the plate in position. I had to take a hammer and close these tabs in a little bit, but you can see she'll fit. So let me line this up and get a flag nut and a bolt started. I just put a couple big tie wraps in the front to hold that thing in place. I got one of the bolts caught with the flag nut, so I'm just gonna work on the other one in the back right there. Just hand tight, didn't crank on them yet. I'm going to get the winch, sit that in there. Not bad. Not bad at all. All right, you can see it really does just shoehorn right in there, okay? You can see that the tabs are lined up with the front flange nicely. Sway bar disconnect out of the way. I think while I'm here, I'll take some duct seal and pack some duct seal into this electrical connector. All right, little extra protection right there. Did the same thing on Recon 1, and honestly, I've never had a problem with my sway bar disconnect. The only time I did is I had a close call with the Jeep, and the damn battery got loose in its holder, and it popped off one of the connectors on the battery, and then the sway bar light started flashing. Took the whole thing apart for nothing. It was perfect inside. Then I realized I had a loose connection on the battery. So no big deal. I like it. Seems like things are lined up here pretty good. Let's go get that winch and see how it looks. I'm always amazed when I look at this freaking winch. It's so huge. It really just really just barely fits inside this damn thing, man. All right, let me, I got some rubber spacers, some feet. Let me see if I can get some bolts started and see what we're up against here. Okay, just centered the winch nicely on the grill and inside the bumper. I got the 18 millimeter bolts lined up. There's a little spacer pad in there you can see. So all the nuts are started. Obviously this back here, I got to get in here with a mechanical wrench and so forth. But yeah, man, really happy with it. Looks good. Jeez. Very nice. You just shoehorns right in there. Okay, what I do is I take a couple large tie wraps, I electrical tape them together. I fish it right down here by the power steering reservoir. Comes out over the frame rail. Then you can see I got these taped up nice. Takes a little finesse, but I'll work that up through and get these wires to come out right here, working around to the battery. Okay, you can see I got the wires right here, and I'm gonna separate them. Then I'll pull them up one at a time and work the slack up nicely in there. All right, you can see both cables come right up here around the air filter housing, and I got them tie wrapped, and they're gonna swing around here. You can see how they're gonna lay into position here once I work the wires a little. Positive, negative. Got to get a nut for that right there, but should work out nice. Make up these connections. All right, I like that. Found the nice little 10 millimeter nut with a flange with a washer attached to it. That's going to work out great for this negative. All right, look at this. So here's, we're looking at the steel stamp bumper. This is the centering piece that I bought from Quadratech. I don't know, 60, 70 bucks. Comes with the flange nuts and bolts. So obviously the four corners bolts this up. And then I can take my roller fair lead housing, which right now I have the rollers off of it, and then I can put all that together and mount that on there. So that's pretty good. Probably do that now. Then I believe gonna need these spacers right here on the outside when the bumper studs go through. Obviously don't use them in the front. Oh, these will be tough. Yeah, these will be tough right here, boy, to get those nuts in there, man. Real tough, real tough. Just barely fits right there, huh? Wow. Okay, lubricated these rollers. Just put the bolts through there. I got the lock washers and the nuts. We'll center that and we'll get this roller fair lead tightened up. Looks good. Roller fair lead attached with some pretty beefy stainless steel hardware. All right, see what we're up against here to try to slide this bumper on. All right, a little bit of a wrestling match. Just got the studs through there. I got to get those nuts on, and I'll put a spacer back there, but not bad. 18 millimeter freaking nuts to get on those studs. Unbelievable. Got 3 on this side, 2 on this side. Cranked the shit out of them with the 1/2-inch impact. There is such little room. And even the width of the winch itself collides with the upper bolt. So you'd have to have some kind of thin, extra skinny nut rather than the normal one. Here's an example of what goes on there. But it's not going anywhere. Trust me when I tell you, man. It's freaking tight. The lights are plugged back on. So I want to try to find a stock hook because it would be nice to fit in the isolator that I have for in between the rollers. If not, I've got the enlarged worn hook. So, yeah. Honestly, the job isn't so bad. The worst part, I'll say, is just trying to get the nuts back on this bumper. Ridiculous. No access points. Just put that skid plate back on. Came out good. Got to get the hook set up. Got to set the license plate up on the roller fair lead bracket. We're almost there. Test the winch. All right, that tucks in pretty nice on that isolator. Now I got to get the license plate set up on my bracket, and I should be able to just plug it right on the roller fair lead. Tested the winch, pretty happy with it. Looks good. Gotta have a winch, man. Non-negotiable in my opinion, so terrific. All right, I was just testing how this fits. There's a little bit of work to put it on, but you don't have to worry about it falling off. So I'll attach the license plate to that. Not a bad setup.